What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. And from the New York Post, fashion designer claims Sam Brinton wore her clothes that were stolen from D.C. airport in 2018. So this is just so weird. I mean, it doesn't really get much stranger than this. You're just randomly stealing bags at the airport. Were you tracking these people? Did you know what was in it? Did you have your eye on it, or did you just steal this and then saw what was in it and decide to start dressing like a woman? Were you dressing like a woman before? Who knows? And how on earth is the Biden administration that's supposed to be saving our democracy not vetting guys who are stealing random luggage from the airport before they get a federal position as nuclear waste manager, whatever it was that this guy is supposedly supposed to be the head of, before he was fired after he was caught stealing luggage because they couldn't figure that out. And this happened in 2018. How is this happening? A fashion designer from Houston claimed that disgraced former Department of Energy official, there we go, Department of Energy. What was he doing? I mean, the Department of Pete Buttigieg, whatever, transportation secretary, he's doing nothing. None of these people are doing, well, that's not exactly true. They're actually destroying the country, but I digress. That's a different story. Brinton wore the custom-made clothes that she had reported missing from a Washington, D.C. airport in 2018. Asia Cashman, a Tanzanian fashion designer who has made her own clothing for years, shared the shocking connection in a Monday tweet that has since gone viral. Cashman said she found photos of Brinton wearing her custom clothing that she had packed in the missing bag after learning that Brinton had been charged with stealing multiple pieces of luggage from 2 U.S. airports. The fashion designer tweeted photos showing some of the clothes she lost, and then Brinton, who identifies as there you have it, and that's why he was hired, because he's playing this game so hard, right? That's what happens. If you can't just sit back and say, all right, I don't really care. You have to play the game so hard. You have to dress like a woman. You have to wear high heels. You have to, claim these weirdo pronouns that don't make sense. And we now even have videos of weirdo makeup artists who say the pronouns don't make sense. Again, different story from an old video. Go ahead and check that out. Anyhow, quote, I saw the images. Those were my custom designs, which were lost in that bag 2018, she told Fox News. So, and here we have it. Look at this. We're supposed to be taking these people seriously simply because they're weird. Look, if you can do the job good and you're weird, then that's fine. Look at Dennis Rodman is the first person that comes to mind. He wants to dye his hair green and purple and marry himself and wear women's clothes and party all night. Fine, but he won a championship. He was good at his job, right? These people aren't even good at their job, right? Pete Buttigieg is hired simply because he's gay, but he's not good at the job. But of course, they don't want people who are good at the job. They want people who are going to help this managed decline so that they can line their pockets on the way down. So I always have to keep in mind that these people don't want to do good things, right? Like, we kind of sometimes get in the headspace of blaming them for being incompetent, but I'm guaranteeing you this is not incompetence. This is malicious destruction that they are currently benefiting from. But look at these pictures. Look at this weirdo. And that's the woman. And I would assume, I don't know her from a ham sandwich, but I would assume she's not crazy, hard right-wing conspiracy nut job. She's probably just a normal woman. She's probably not even really political at all. Maybe she's on the left. Maybe she's conservative. Who knows? It doesn't matter. That's not the point. Is that as soon as a woman, now I would venture to say, I don't know, maybe we can, sift through tweets at a different time, but are people mad at her for calling out this man? He kind of just went away and nobody even really cares. As soon as a little bit of accountability shows up for one of these weirdo political establishment people, they just sort of go away and nothing. Whatever happened to Jussie Smollett, for the record? Whatever happened with that? He somehow got out of jail. He was supposed to do, 6 years or at least 6 months? I forget. It's so long ago now. And this crazy news cycle changes so rapidly because they want you to forget the last thing and get upset about the new current thing. But that man was supposed to do jail time, somehow got out, and there was supposed to be an appeal, and it just, poof, went away. So I assume this guy will just go away as well. He won't face any consequences. Same thing with Alec Baldwin. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They will never face any consequences. Look at Hillary Clinton. She'll run for the rest of her life and never admit to anything or any wrong. I mean, she is continuing to claim that she is the savior of the United States and taking interviews with Meg the Stallion or Cardi B or whatever. So this is from, looks like from a fashion show that she did. Look at these photos. Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, it does look very, very similar. It's one of those. It's all the same fabric, same pattern. Cashman's bag vanished from the Ronald Reagan Washington Airport on March 9th, 2018, after she flew into the Capitol for an event where she was to put her clothes on display. So she was probably supposed to be wearing similar clothes that were gonna be put on display, and they just didn't show up because this weirdo randomly stole a bag. Again, did he know what he was after? Was he tracking her, or did he just show up at the airport? I mean, how did this happen? Was this a thing? And I assume this isn't just a one-off. Well, of course it's not a one-off because he's been caught at least twice. But was he just flying around without a bag and then going to baggage claim as just a kink? I mean, maybe, right? And this weird play and lipstick and high heels. It's all just, these people are clearly mentally disturbed, and they somehow get federal government positions. And that is a huge problem. However, after the bag disappeared, she was unable to participate. So this guy stole the bag, and she wasn't even able to do the show that she was supposed to do, which is despicable, right? So we have a non-binary man basically ruining the business of a woman, but because he's kind of pretending to be a woman, they, them, whatever, then it doesn't really matter. Well, I guess it does matter, and he was fired, but that one was just too big to let go, even though they could have gotten away with it. No, because there's nobody who's going to actually discipline these people, or is discipline the right? There's nobody who's going to hold any of these people accountable because the corruption goes all the way to the top, right? I mean, there's no Joe Biden. There's nobody in the administration, not even these lazy sit-on-their-hand Republicans. Nobody's going to do anything. Her husband filed reports with the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority Police Department and filed a claim with Delta Airlines, which is the airline Cashman used to fly from Houston to D.C. The bag was never recovered, and this guy just pops up wearing it. Like, what is happening? Communications between Delta and Cashman shared with Fox News show the fashion designer pleading with the airline for her bag back, saying it was full of expensive clothes, shoes, jewelry, and other personal items. Yeah, well, too bad. The Biden admin twink has it, so you're out of luck. Nothing's going to happen to him. You might not be able to show up to your fashion show. You might not be able to go, conduct your business, but whatever. This guy has it. Who cares? He's fired, but no consequences. Okay. After seeing photos of Brenton wearing what she believes are her clothes on the news, she filed a report with the Houston Police Department on December 16th. In late January, she said she was contacted by the FBI field office in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Houston police, I guess they sent the case to the FBI in Minnesota. The FBI would not confirm that it is investigating. Of course, no, you think the FBI? He's one of them. The FBI, I mean, they're one and the same. Obviously, they're not going to investigate. They're not going to. There's nothing in it for them to investigate this guy because, as we know by now, the FBI is the enforcement arm of the political establishment, right? They're not for the people. As soon as you object to one thing, they're going to call you a threat. You're a menace to society, right? You're the extremist, right? You're the weirdo. That's how it always happens. It's always backwards. Everything is backwards, upside down, clown, bizarro world, whateve you want to call it. It's always backwards. So as soon as, like Don Lemon, if you say one thing that makes even mild sense after you've spent years saying nonsensical left-wing talking points, if you say one thing that makes sense, now you're on punishment. Now you're in timeout. So my point here is obviously the FBI has no stake in investigating this guy. I'm surprised he even got fired, right? Like they could have just pretended it never, just ignored the entire thing because they have all the power. Nobody can stop it. Look at Hunter Biden. Nobody can stop them. And of course, when you try to, like maybe Donald Trump tries to stop the political regime, then they come at him with everything, every single thing. Russia, Ukraine, P-tapes, raiding his home, classified documents, the list. I mean, it just goes on because he's trying to stop their agenda. Anyhow, in both the Minnesota and Nevada cases, Brenton had traveled on flights from Washington, D.C. before allegedly swiping the bags from the airport carousels, according to criminal complaints obtained by Fox News. Brenton was released without bail and ordered not to contact any of the victims. Oh, so go home and don't talk to these people? Seems pretty tough. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. These are the people that are in charge. Look at this weirdo, egghead, mustachio, lipstick, lace dress. This is insane. And his punishment is to go home without bail and not contact the victims? What? They appeared in law. This is the New York Post using the preferred pronouns of a criminal. This is how bad it's gotten. And I always give props to the Post because they're all over the place and they cover everything. But capitulating to the pronoun preferences of some weirdo who stole a woman's luggage at an airport is incredibly low. So he was told not to talk to the victims and to stay out of trouble. He does face he faces up to 5 years in prison for the Minnesota theft and 10 years in jail for the Las Vegas heist. Even though that won't happen, this case will just go away. And he'll be fine. He'll just get another job. He'll probably get a job in the media. He'll be on MSNBC in no time. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.